What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another edition of Mean Streets here at FTN. Chris Meaney and Mike Randle at Randle Rant. It's an exciting time to be a sports fan. All the things are happening, but we're here to talk about what is going to be, I think, a spectacular series in the NBA. The Philadelphia 76ers and the New York Knicks. We did see the 76ers get by the Miami Heat to advance in the play-in game, and we have a series, according to DraftKings, pretty tough to call. 76ers at -110 and the New York Knicks at -110 as well. When you look at this series, Mike, how do you see this one shaping out? Who do you like?
I like the Knicks. I like the Knicks because I think one of the few situations where they're going to have a coaching match, or possibly even better with Nick Nurse. When you talk about Tom Thibodeau versus Nick Nurse, both are excellent series strategists. They're going to come at stuff, of course, Nurse with the box and one in the finals. I mean, he's ready to go deep. But the issue is Thibodeau has a Knicks team that is finally healthy. Forget Julius Randle. And the last time they played the Sixers, Randle was terrible. It's like 1 of 8 from the field. Yes, it's unfortunate he's not there, but they have adjusted without him. Mitch Robinson is now back. Yes, he had the surgery. He's looked a little bit slow, but Isaiah Hartenstein has been more than capable of starting and defending well against Embiid. And OG Anunoby, Chris, has changed the game for the Knicks. His defensive prowess, his deflections, his instincts. This is not the team, the Knicks, that you want to be playing. I will quote our own Marshall Gershon when he said this to me in the Slack the other day. You don't want to be playing the Knicks when you're shorthanded or banged up. And with Joel Embiid, we don't know what we're going to get. He looked fantastic against the Heat with the rebounds, but the points were down. The jumper was off. He wasn't attacking the basket as much. So with all of those factors even up, and the fact that I love Thibodeau in a short series as well, battling against Nurse, I am going to go with the Knicks here. The physicality, Jalen Brunson is at a different level. You can argue, Chris, because Embiid is hurt, that he is the best all-around player on the floor right here. Yes, Maxey is great, but I am going with the Knicks and their physicality with the home court advantage, a great coach, a healthy team, and a deeper team right now than Philadelphia.
Yeah, they are definitely a deeper team. I think you bring up a lot of good points of the coaching, because I like Nick Nurse too. Of course, he had a lot of success with the Toronto Raptors. He's a terrific mind, defensive mind, and a really good head coach. But Thibodeau he's certainly a baller. And Jalen Brunson has been great in this moment before. You remember with the Mavericks when Luka Doncic wasn't there to start the series for the Mavs in the playoffs a couple years ago, and he took his game to another level. And I think that was just him scratching the surface on the big player that he's become as a really strong player in the NBA. I was really going to ask you about the health of Joel Embiid, because this is a team in the 76ers that are 31-8 when they have Embiid, scoring 120 points per game, 16-27 without Embiid, only scoring 109. Of course, defensively, not the same team, pulling down boards, all those things, field goal percentage. Of course, Embiid can do it all for the 76ers team. And down the stretch, they had won 8 in a row with him, and then they beat Miami, which we both talked about. But I see the same things. It just didn't seem like a healthy Embiid, man. Like, he's going to battle through this. He's battled through so many injuries, of course, his career dating back to the Jayhawks as well. But this is, I think, even Embiid at 75% is great, but I think they need him to be like close to 100%, Mike, for them to advance in this series. So what do you think? How many games can you see the series going?
Yeah, I think it's going to be a fairly short series. I think the Knicks can take it in 5 or 6. I do not think it's going 7 games. The Knicks will be able, with so many different outs, to attack the Sixers, Chris. They can get up and down the court with Josh Hart flying up and down, Anunoby as well. If they want to go in the half court, Embiid now has to defend in the half court. So that he's going to do the drop coverage, and that's going to give them jump shots, and Jalen Brunson is going to do death by 1,000 pricks with those short mid-range jump shots.
Yeah.
That is the issue. I think Embiid is limited offensively. I think Embiid is also limited defensively. And if they start and get out and run up and down the court and throw in the home court advantage, I mean, I guess if Philadelphia had home court advantage, I'd feel a little bit better. But when they played Miami, they were in trouble, Chris, for the majority of that game. This Knicks defense is not going to let them come back if they get down like that again. I am going with the Knicks. I'll say the Knicks in 5 or 6, one of those. I think they'll have no trouble winning in Philadelphia. This is a team that is going in the wrong direction, Philadelphia. Embiid was hurt. They're lacking some chemistry. Maxey has to score big. They don't have a lot of other options. Yes, Tobias Harris is there, but to quote Jimmy Butler, Tobias Harris against the Knicks? Get out of here. I'll take the Knicks, and I'll take them in, let's say 6, just to be conservative here. But I think they move on. I love this team. I love their depth. Hartenstein's been tremendous.
Yeah, one more final question about the Knicks, because I do believe the Julius Randle injury will catch up to them. It may not be in this series, but do you think that him not being with the squad is going to be the reason maybe the Knicks don't go on a deep run, or do you see this team actually being able to go on a deep run? And when I say deep run, it's like the Celtics. You know what I mean? Like Boston is the top of the top, but out of all the teams in the East, and we'll get into this finals in just a few moments, who is the team that can threaten the Celtics the most? Is it the Knicks?
Yeah, well, it's certainly not the Bucks.
No,
My
you're
Bucks, and
believing
I
in
love them. I
Milwaukee.
wish they had Nick Nurse. They obviously don't. I think the Knicks are the team that can battle the Celtics the best. I don't trust anyone else. I think the Cavaliers have their hands full, like you talked about with Noose, with the Orlando Magic. I think people are way too aggressive on that one as well. I guess a healthy Sixer team would be my choice, but the team I think that matches up, if Jimmy Butler was there, I would go with the Heat, is the Knicks. I think Mitchell Robinson, you're whistling past the graveyard with Mitchell Robinson a lot of times because you don't know what you're going to get from him, but he has to step up. Remember, Chris, Julius Randle really was very hit or miss at times this year when he was battling the injuries. So I am going with the Knicks. Robinson is the key. You need a healthy Anunoby, and Brunson's going to have to continue to go for 30 a game. If he does that with Thibodeau, I think they have a shot.